Okay, today I'm going to show you something that I realized I have a version of this in my YouTube tutorials and walkthroughs, but I don't have a version with sound. And this is not something I'm going to upload into YouTube. Well, I might, and set it to private. This is not something that I generally want everyone to know. It's kind of top secret. What I'm going to do today is build a 3D Easter egg with a symbol mapped onto it that's going to look like a stripe or a pattern. I'm going to do a basic one. To get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my ellipse tool and draw myself. It doesn't even matter. I can hold down shift and do it. It doesn't really matter if it's straight or not. What does matter is that it's filled with a solid color and it does not have a stroke on it all. So you can just select the stroke chip and set the fill for that to none. You can double click on the fill chip in there and set it to, I don't know, something festive. Use your direct select tool to make this look a little bit more egg shaped. Just going to pull mine down and then grab the point at the top and pull it up until it looks more like everybody knows what an egg looks like. Okay, once I have that going on, I'm going to click the point over here and hit delete. So I have half an egg. Doesn't matter. Left half, right half, whichever one you want to work with. I think the demo that I did for this, previous demos might have been left side. Doesn't matter. Whichever you prefer. So once I've got that set, I'm going to go back to my select tool and go to the effect menu and choose 3D Revolve. Okay, while I'm doing this, I'm going to hit preview. And because I'm using the part that was on the left side, it's going to make me this thing that looks like one of those cheesy 3D eggs. I'm not crazy about the highlight in the middle here. I might change the angle of this. No, definitely not. Okay, we'll leave it at 360 for today. I can change the axis if I want to. Usually, I don't know, if it comes out looking like an egg, I just leave it the way it is. So I'm going to leave it and click OK. And all these things here that say map art, like I haven't made anything that I'm going to map onto this yet, but just remember that because we're going to use it again in a couple seconds. I'm going to click OK so I can keep on working. Great, goody, I got my little egg here. So I'm going to make a stripe pattern. To do that, I'm going to use rectangle tool. And I don't need to do this. I can just do it on my paste board. I don't need to put it in the actual artboard. Actually, we could make a checkerboard. Let's make a checkerboard. Okay, I'm going to go back with my rectangle tool and draw a square and fill it with a different color so that it's visible. Okay, and because I'm pressed for time, I'm going to change the color of this to something else that's really bright. Better. Okay. Wow, why'd that come out like that? Pink. That's weird. Okay, let's put ourselves in WebSafe RGB and see if we can change that. Because that is not looking pink at all. Okay, good enough. Select both. Option click and drag. I'm just gonna transform, reflect, because I want to make a checkerboard. Preview it. horizontal. Yep, yeah, that's what I want. Okay, line those up and make a bunch of them because I want to make this like a continuous stripe pattern. So I'm just going to select, option click and drag, and do the same thing. Okay, so this is going to become my symbol. I'm just letting the smart guides help me line this up because normally I would have group selected this and made sure that I didn't accidentally nudge anything out of place. I don't know, good enough, looks okay to me. So what I'm going to use to do this is the symbols panel. If you don't see it, like I had mine open, but if you don't see it, it'll be over here in window, down where it says symbols. So I'm going to select this whole thing, drag it into my symbols panel until I see that little green dot pop up. I'm going to name this orange. That's not how you spell orange. Purple checker. I'm going to make sure I set the export type to graphic instead of movie clip. It's movie clip by default, but you want it set to graphic. And I'm going to click OK. Leave all the other things the way they are and click OK. Registration doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Click OK. Okay, so now that's added into the symbols panel. Okay, great. So I'm going to select my egg. I can't apply another 3D effect to it, but what I can do if I want to tweak the current 3D effect is go to Window menu and scroll down to Hey Appearance, which will open up my Appearance panel, and this is where I can mess with the 3D revolve that I've already put on this. I'm just going to slide over a little bit so you can see what I'm doing and click on 3D revolve. Once I do that, I don't have preview checked, so it resorts back to the non-3D version. If I check preview, there it is. Okay, so map art, I mentioned that button before. If I click on that, it's going to show me, this is an egg, it's a very simple shape, so we've only got one surface. This little graph in here tells me which areas are live. So what I want to do is go up to the symbol menu and all the way down at the bottom, hey, that's why I named it orange purple checker. So I'm going to put that on there. It will basically stick it wherever I don't want it. And I'm going to grab the shape in here and just make it so that it covers my whole live area. If I want to see it look a little bit more realistic, I would check Shade Artwork, which will shade it. Looks okay to me. I don't know, maybe we move it up slightly. Whatever. You can move it where you like it. If you're happy with the positioning, click OK. Click OK again. And there you go. You've got a 3D egg. The possibilities are endless. You can drag just about any shapes or patterns into the symbols menu, any colors that you want, and really, I mean, you know, it's memory hungry, but you can make a lot of really cool things.